Doris Day is a name that needs no introduction to most movie and music lovers. Widely regarded as one of the greatest singers of her era, Doris performed over 650 songs throughout her lifetime, solidifying her place in music history. Yet what remains a fascinating mystery is how she managed to balance both singing and acting, achieving enormous success in both fields simultaneously. Her talent knew no bounds, and her career spanned multiple decades, making her an enduring icon. Today we'll dive into 8 major facts about this legendary woman and reveal some lesser-known details about her extraordinary life and career. So make sure to stay tuned. If you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, you're definitely missing out. Hit that subscribe button now so you don't miss any of our exciting content. And let's get started. Number 8. Doris Day, originally born Doris Marianne Kappelhoff, was known for her timeless beauty, talent, and charisma. However, one little-known fact about her early life is that she lied about her age. Day was born in Cincinnati, Ohio on April 3, 1922, into a family deeply rooted in music. Her father, William Joseph Kappelhoff, was a choir master and music teacher, while her mother, Alma Sophia, was a homemaker. Both of her parents were of German descent, though they were born in the United States. Day was the youngest of 3 children, but tragedy struck before her birth when her oldest brother, Robert, passed away. Her remaining sibling, Paul, was 3 years older than Doris. Throughout her life, Day adjusted her birth year in various public records, often shaving off a few years to maintain a youthful image in Hollywood, a common practice for many stars of her time. Her undeniable talent and radiant charm kept her in the spotlight for decades, but her true age remained a mystery to many for years. Doris Day's early life was marked by personal challenges, beginning with her parents' separation shortly after her birth, due to her father's infidelity. Raised solely by her mother, Doris faced an unconventional upbringing. For much of her life, she chose to keep her true age a secret, telling the public she was born later than her actual birth date. It wasn't until her 95th birthday that a team of determined journalists did some investigating and uncovered her birth certificate, revealing that Doris was, in fact, 2 years older than she had long claimed. This discovery only added to the intrigue surrounding the life of this beloved icon. Number 7. Doris Day originally dreamed of becoming a professional dancer. As a child, she was passionate about dancing, taking tap dancing and ballet lessons with hopes of one day making it big. Alongside her dance partner, Jerry Doherty, they formed a successful duo and even won a local dancing competition, which gave them the opportunity to travel to Hollywood and pursue their aspirations. To make matters even more difficult for Doris Day, she suffered a serious fall while she was recovering from a car accident, which worsened her condition and ultimately ended her dreams of becoming a professional dancer. During this long recovery period, Doris turned to the radio to pass the time, and it was there that she discovered her love for singing. She became particularly captivated by the smooth and elegant voice of Ella Fitzgerald and began practicing, attempting to match Fitzgerald's vocal style. Recognizing her daughter's newfound passion, Doris's mother took notice and decided to support her interest. She hired a vocal coach who quickly saw Doris's natural talent and described her as a highly promising student with tremendous potential. This new direction in her life would set the stage for Doris Day's eventual rise as one of the most iconic singers of her generation. Number 6. Doris Day beat out 200 applicants to land her first major job as a vocalist. Just 8 months into her singing lessons, Day was already making a name for herself, performing on the WLW radio program Carlin's Carnival and singing at a local restaurant, Charlie Yee's Shanghai Inn. Her big break came when Barney Rapp, a well-known jazz musician and orchestra leader, heard her singing on the radio. Rapp was on the hunt for a female vocalist for his band and had auditioned over 200 singers, but none impressed him as much as Doris Day. Her remarkable talent stood out, and she won the role, marking the beginning of her career as a professional singer. This opportunity opened doors for Day, paving the way for her rise to fame as one of America's most cherished entertainers. Working with her vocal coach, Grace Rain, exposed Doris Day to many more opportunities in the music world. Her talent was undeniable, and a few years later she released her first hit recording, Sentimental Journey, with Les Brown and his Band of Renown, which became an anthem for soldiers returning home from World War II. This success skyrocketed her career, and soon she was collaborating with some of the greatest talents of the time, including legendary figures like Bing Crosby and Les Brown himself. With her captivating voice and growing popularity, Doris quickly began touring across the U.S., making a name for herself as a standout singer. Her charm, grace, and talent combined to create a unique star power, propelling her toward an even more remarkable career in both music and film. Number 5. Doris Day was married 4 times. Her first marriage, in March 1941, was to Al Jordan, a trombonist she met while performing in Barney Rapp's band. Unfortunately, this marriage was filled with turmoil from the start. Jordan, who was later diagnosed with schizophrenia, had a history of violent behavior. Shockingly, just moments after their wedding, he physically abused Day for accepting a wedding gift from a male colleague. Things only worsened when Day became pregnant. Jordan, determined that she should not have the baby, physically assaulted her in an attempt to force a miscarriage when she refused to have an abortion. Despite the abuse, Day gave birth to a healthy son, Terry, in 1942. However, the marriage was unsustainable, and the couple divorced in 1943. Tragically, Al Jordan later took his own life, marking a dark chapter in Day's personal life. This marriage was the first of 4, but it left a lasting impact on her, shaping much of her later experiences and relationships. Doris Day's second marriage was to George William Weidler in 1946, a union that lasted for 3 years before they parted ways. Following this, Doris married Martin Melcher, an American film producer, on her 29th birthday in 1951. Melcher not only produced many of her movies, but also adopted Doris's son from her first marriage, who later changed his name to Terrence Paul Melcher. Their marriage spanned 17 years until Martin's death in 1968. Her fourth and final marriage was to Barry Comden, a maitre d' who worked at some of the restaurants she frequented. They were married from 1976 to 1982, but the marriage eventually ended in divorce. Comden passed away in 2009. Doris Day remained single for the rest of her life after their split, focusing on her passion for animal welfare and her work in Hollywood. Number 4. Doris Day never wanted to host The Doris Day Show. After the death of her third husband, Martin Melcher, in 1968, Day was faced with shocking revelations about her financial situation. She discovered that Melcher had been involved in shady business dealings, which not only squandered her fortune but also left her with a significant amount of debt. To make matters worse, Day found out that before his death, Melcher had signed her up for a television show and several TV specials, without her knowledge or consent. Despite her reluctance and initial resistance, Day had little choice but to move forward with the Doris Day Show in order to recover financially. While she never intended to transition to television, the show ended up being a hit, running for 5 seasons from 1968 to 1973. Although it helped her rebuild her financial stability, it wasn't a project she had ever planned or wanted to pursue. Nonetheless, Day's professionalism and talent shone through, further cementing her status as a beloved entertainment icon. Despite her initial reluctance, Doris Day pulled it off beautifully, and the Doris Day Show enjoyed a successful 5-year run. By her own admission, she took on the show out of financial necessity, but it ultimately became a rewarding experience. However, this wasn't her first foray into the world of television or film. Before her successful TV venture, Doris Day had already established herself as a major box office draw, consistently ranking among the highest-grossing actresses worldwide. Throughout her career, Day starred in numerous films and made appearances in various TV shows, cementing her legacy as one of Hollywood's most beloved stars. Even after the Doris Day Show, she continued to shine on screen until her eventual retirement in 2009, leaving behind a body of work that spanned decades and brought joy to millions. Number 3. Doris Day was a passionate animal activist dedicating much of her life to the welfare of animals. Her love for them was evident in many aspects of her life, including how she met her fourth husband. At her favorite restaurant, he won her attention by handing her a bag of bones and meat scraps for her beloved dogs. However, he later expressed frustration, feeling that she cared more for her animals than for him, a sentiment that must have been painful to acknowledge. Day's deep connection to animals stemmed from a traumatic incident in her teenage years when her dog was tragically struck by a passing car. The loss left her with lingering guilt and loneliness, which fueled her lifelong commitment to animal welfare. Driven by this passion, Doris Day denounced the use of fur and established the Doris Day Animal Foundation, an organization dedicated solely to helping animals. Her activism extended further in 2011 when she approved the creation of the Doris Day Horse Rescue and Adoption Center, dedicated to rescuing and rehabilitating abused and neglected horses. Day not only lent her name to the cause, but also donated $250,000 to fund the center's mission. Her love for animals also led her to own the pet-friendly Cypress Inn, reflecting her dedication to creating welcoming spaces for animals and their humans alike. Number 2. Doris Day had a deep-seated fear of flying, despite often portraying characters who appeared completely at ease on airplanes in her films. This phobia began in the 1940s while she was touring with Bob Hope, who frequently had to fly in bad weather. The turbulent flights left a lasting impression on Day, instilling a fear that she would carry with her for the rest of her life. As a result, she steadfastly avoided airplanes, which led to her missing several significant honors and award ceremonies. Notably, she declined a tribute at the Kennedy Center because it would have required boarding a plane, a testament to the strength of her phobia. Her fear of flying was one of the few things that Day couldn't overcome, despite her otherwise fearless and successful career. Number 1. Doris Day passed away on May 13, 2019, at the age of 97 due to complications from pneumonia. True to her wishes, there was no funeral, no grave marker, and no public memorial. Just a simple announcement and private final rites. After her passing, her belongings were auctioned off, raising around $3 million to support her foundation, reflecting her lifelong dedication to animals. Doris Day's life was undoubtedly fulfilling, marked by an incredible career and a lasting legacy in both the entertainment world and animal welfare. Let us know in the comments if you think she lived a remarkable life, and don't forget to like and subscribe. If you haven't already, check out our other videos and stay tuned for more. See you next time.